This is the weekly forecast reading for the week of 6th to 12th of March 2016. It's both your love and partnership as well as your general forecast. We're starting with your love and partnerships. Actually, what we're first starting with is, as I sat down to start preparing for this reading, I looked up to check the time for no apparent reason. The time was of no consequence, and it said 13:13. So this was definitely a sign. And we're not going to ignore that. 13:13 says, angels and ascended masters are working closely with you this week to help you stay positive. That positive is coming up in the reading again, so it's obviously important. You are being angelically guided toward the next step on your path. You are surrounded by positive, loving energy. Use it constructively. Be your true self and express this clearly and lovingly. Lovely message to start with, and obviously pretty important. Now, the first card that comes up in your love and relationship or partnership reading says very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Another thing that sort of popped up when I was doing this part of the reading is I think each one of these cards is for a specific set of circumstances or a situation. So there seem to be 3 overarching situations or circumstances in people's partnerships and relationships this week. And one of them will apply to you. For a very small percentage of you, all 3 will apply. But for the most part, one is going to be your central story. The first story is know very, very clearly what it is you want. So if you're waiting for someone, if you're calling in that soulmate, if you've been sitting waiting for quite a while, it's about to manifest in the very near future. But you need to have a clear idea of what it is that you want. So you need to, and this isn't outlining the characteristics of the person you want. This is outlining what you want in your life. Do you want a permanent partner? Do you want someone to have fun with? Do you want someone that makes you feel happy and relaxed and enjoying every moment of your life? That's what you need to be clear on. It can't be delivered to your doorstep, and it will be, unless you are clear about what it is that you want. That's the message coming through here. I'm delivering it, you take it from there. The next story, the next situation is playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And this is, you need to fall back in love again by enjoying yourself. So I'm thinking this is applying to permanent partnership or long-term partnerships and relationships. To get the fun and the joy back, not only into your partnerships and relationships, but into life in general, you need to get that playfulness back in there. It says fun is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It says you will renew your energy levels. It is essential for relationships. Plan a date night. So if you're in a relationship, or even if you have a partner, go and do something together specifically just for the two of you, with the aim of having fun, enjoying yourself. Life is pretty serious for 99% of people at the moment, so you have to plan your fun. And I know this sounds as if it's not spontaneous, and how can it be fun, but you'll be amazed when you do plan something fun together, how much fun you do end up having. And like this card says, this gives you then vitality in the rest of your life, and it'll just add a whole new dimension to your relationship. Right, now the third story that comes up says free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Some of you have handed over the reins to somebody else, and you can't feel romance and passion, and this is not just in romantic relationships, in partnerships too. You cannot feel vitality and creativity and spontaneity when you have handed the reins to somebody else. it stops you from feeling. So when you take back control of your life, you will start to feel again. And that is the first step to finding a sure footing in a partnership or relationship, or finding who you are and what you want again in a partnership or relationship. Right, so those are the 3 stories. For most of you, one of them is going to be the overarching theme this week in your partnerships and relationships. Now we move on to the guidance for your partnerships and relationships. The first card that comes up says, clean it up. And this says you need to get rid of that excess baggage. All of us have baggage. We have baggage from old relationships right back to when we were children, to old partners, which we're still carrying with us, and basically we play it out with whoever we partnered up in life at the moment. Take a look at what it is, because the energy is available this week to clean that out. And it says sweep away the old stuff so that you can make space for the new stuff to move in. So this also really applies to those of you waiting for a new partner or a new relationship. Before they can move in, clean out the old stuff. It's very important. That may be what is stopping this from happening. Take a look at that. And then, as you know, it's new moon solar eclipse this week. This is normally a case of launching something, the start of something. But eclipses normally do eclipse something out of your life. And to start something, they will usually end up removing something from your life. So it looks like what it will be removing this week has reached completion anyway. You are aware of this fact. Of course, we are not always comfortable of letting go. As human beings, hold on pretty tightly. This is saying, just take a deep breath, sigh it out, and acknowledge you have reached a culmination or an end point on this path as far as you've come. It doesn't mean the journey necessarily ends here, but this section of the journey is now finished and you need to step into a new journey. For some of you, possibly an entirely new journey. Do this willingly. Do this with an open heart and an open mind. Because the final card speaks of DNA and karma. So I think this is a karmic cycle that has now completed. And you now have the potential to move into something new. Something which is destiny and not fate. Something which you can start an entirely new journey. You're not walking in or down a path that has been walked before by your family and your lineage. If you need to know more about that, drop me a line and I'll send you an email because it's a longish explanation for now. Then we move on to your general reading. And what I've done for this week is, remember last week I prepared you for this new moon solar eclipse, what it was about, what is the story it was telling, what the energies are. This week we're going to look at what are the overarching energies for this week. In other words, where to from here, right? Now the first card that comes up is that one of self-reliance. And this says, examine your belief system. Are you just following the herd to fit in because you don't want to stand out from them? But is this against the grain? Is there something you truly believe in? And you need to stand your ground on it. Now the card cautions that you do not need to alienate everybody, that you do not need to then go this path alone. Perhaps all that you need to do is sit with yourself and say, I don't entirely believe in what all these people are doing or saying. I have my own belief system. I will follow that belief system, but I will stay with the crowd on another level. You do not have to do this alone. Isolation is not always the way forward. And it's this card that message is coming through. Isolation is not the way forward. So perhaps the thing to do is to find people that do have the same belief system as yours. But there's something about this week about knowing what your belief system is and sticking to your belief system. Perhaps even discovering it, but you need to stand your ground where that is concerned. Then the next card is that of perseverance. So this says, draw the line and don't give up. So there's obviously something about sticking to the guns about what you believe in this week. This is not about taking people on. This is about an inward journey for you. This is about you inwardly acknowledging what you believe in and sticking to that, regardless of what the herd or the crowd is doing. It says, practice steady, consistent steps towards your goal. Don't struggle, don't resist, just quietly and determinedly head towards the goal. And focus on what you do have, not on lack. This message is coming up a lot lately. Do focus on what you have and what you don't have. The consumerism society, that which we are all herded into at the moment, every single last one of us, it focuses on lack. It convinces you of lack. It motivates you with lack. Drop that. For this week, drop that. The final card that comes up is one that actually hasn't come up from this deck before since I've started using it, so there's a new message coming through here. And this one says crossroads. So it says it's time to make a decision. Follow your heart, but it is time to act. There is no right or wrong route here. Both routes are going to lead you on a journey. Both journeys are going to expand your soul. They're going to lead you eventually to the same place. But the choice needs to be with what is in your heart, deep in your heart. What do you really want to do? It says to choose one here, look at your intention. So why are you choosing that route? What is the end goal here? What is your reasoning behind choosing that route? And then have the courage to follow through with your heart's desire. Now the guidance for your general reading is, the first card that comes up is that of the Nine of Air. And this says positive thinking is essential right now. So here this comes through again. You've got to keep the positive energy, the positive thinking going. It says release fear, guilt, and other self-negating thoughts. Those are your enemy right now. The next card is the Four of Cups. And this says the resolution or opportunity you seek is staring you in the face. It's right there. It says open your eyes, which means open your heart, and you will see it. And once again it stresses focus on what you do have and rather than what you do not have. Important message this week. Get off that I need because I don't have that we all prescribe to. Focus on what you do have. The answer is lying in that. The final card speaks of commitment. This says there's a promise, there's a contract, there's a commitment coming up in your future. You obviously need to be prepared for this, and this is what all these cards are leading up to. This is a lucky card. It has good luck attached to it. It has long-term viability and commitment. But that is the ring at the end of the journey, the ring that you find, right? You all know that story, but you need to do the homework first before you can get there. Now your soul path, the card that comes up is the Grouse. And it says you have been drowned by the material and the mundane. Here we go again. This is that lack story. We are focused on what we want and what we need materially. We have forgotten our connection to spirit. It says, you have forgotten your soul, your heart, and your spirit. Find it again. Do something that reconnects you to that. So whatever spiritual practice you have that reconnects you, that connects that energetic connection between you and spirit and soul, you need to do that again. We are too tied down in this whole, shall we say, physical, materialistic and mundane world at the moment. The next card says, you're trying so hard to fit into that herd that you're ending up looking ridiculous. And that card doesn't actually say that. But this is kind of the message I feel is coming through. Yeah, when I looked at that card, that's the first thought that came to mind. We try so hard to fit in that quite possibly we end up behaving and looking ridiculous in the end. Don't do that. Choose your own path. Choose what's in your heart. Do what you want to do, how you feel comfortable, where you feel you belong. The final card says the way to find what your heart really wants to do is to meditate. Meditation will bring you clarity of mind and a sense of inner peace. It calms the mind and it soothes away stress. It unlocks creative potential and spontaneity. So meditate. However meditation works in your life, whatever form you do meditation in, make sure to do it this week so that you can reconnect and find that spontaneity and creativity in your life again. Right, so that is your weekly reading for the 6th to the 12th of March 2016. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and listening.
Random, a thing of the past, you know it should be. Taking a piece of your mind, it's only I see. And on the past they say